I know that when I was younger, if I had seen something like this, I really think it would have changed my life.
Hi everyone and welcome to Cerimania. We are here with the team and cast being critically acclaimed We Are Lady Parts, which is launching on Bretex on September 15th. So maybe can you present yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Nida Manzoor. I'm the writer, creator and director of We Are Lady Parts.
I'm Suri Fletcher-Jones and I am the executive producer of We Are Lady Parts and I work for Working Title Films here in London.
I'm Sarah Camilla Impey and I play Syra, the lead singer of We Are Lady Parts.
Hi, I'm Juliet Mohamed. I play Aisha, the aggressive drummer of Lady Parts.
So, first question for Nida or Surian, maybe, what inspired you to create this great show, as we said, We Are Lady Parts?
You know, for me, I was inspired by so many things, but I think the thing that really gave me the impetus to want to tell the story in this way was because I felt that I wasn't really seeing the kinds of representation, especially of Muslim women, that I wanted to, that I felt really reflected the women that I knew. And I'm a comedy writer. I love comedy, and I really wasn't seeing, the women I knew given sort of comedy stories. And often I was finding that the stories around Muslim women were sort of treated with a lot of seriousness and a lot of heaviness, as though there isn't any joy there. So I think it was wanting to tell the story with joyfulness. I was so inspired by, the women I know, my friends, my family, but also like these great artists and musicians that I was seeing around me, especially in London. I was a musician myself and I come from a very musical family. So I wanted to bring the music in there as well. So yeah, quite a lot of different things sort of came together in the inspiration of the show.
Juliet or Sarah, same question, what attracted you to this project, to this series?
For me personally, I think it was the script. I was really, really blown away, not just by how funny it was and how insightful it was and just how joyful it was, but also just how every single woman in the script, not just the main characters, but like the mothers, the friends, everyone had a really realized character. And that is something that I felt is just such like a diamond to be able to be a part of. So I was really happy to be a part of it.
Completely, so was I. And when I read the script, it just included so many themes that were so important to me. You've got friendship, you've got sisterhood, inclusivity, like it was all in this beautiful, beautiful, precious bubble. Yeah, we felt very lucky.
Tell us more about becoming a band, because were you all musicians before the series, or maybe not at all? And if not, how did you guys tackle that? And can you tell us the process?
I am actually a musician, so I sing and I produce, but I had never played drums ever in my life. So it was a really new experience to be able to kind of get into the rehearsal room and just get all of my anger, all of my feelings out on the drum kit. I think, Sarah, you can like attest to this as well, but we had so many rehearsals before we actually started filming. And that was really, I think, a really amazing process for us to just get to know each other and to have that chemistry between the girls in the band. So it was the rehearsals themselves were like a really big part of like kind of getting into character and being present in like the roles, for sure.
Yeah, that definitely made us feel more like a band, isn't it? Like going into those rehearsal rooms, and especially singing punk, because it's so different to singing anything else, that you have to really like take off layers of yourself and get raw and loud. And there was so much permission in the room from everyone, because I think we were all learning at different paces. So like really lifting each other up and being like, yes, do you know what? If you haven't got it this time, you're going to have it in 5 more rounds. And then like we were getting obsessed with kind of playing it without the track.
Yeah.
I remember like the first time we played like several tracks in a row without the backing track, and yeah, it felt wild. Like we looked around literally like, we are a band. What?
Is it exciting to be part of a band?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the best thing in the world. It's better than any feeling because it's a very different type of performance. Like and it's so live and so in the moment that like yeah, you can really feel each other's rhythms. You're very in sync in that moment.
And it's also really nice to be able to kind of, for me especially, because obviously with drums, you're sitting at the back, you can see everyone kind of playing their instrument and getting progressively more and more just in the zone. And it's such like a really, just, I don't know, it's like really like enlivening to be able to see all of like your cast members just getting really down to the nitty gritty of it and just letting go.
You have continued the drums since the series. You played
as much as I can. I live in an apartment, so I don't think it would be fair to my neighbors.
Are there any bands or musicians that influenced you in particular when you create or when you film the series?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many punk bands, musicians, artists that have definitely influenced me as I was writing it, and also for the specific characters. It's been quite a wide range of different inspirations. But I think one of the things for me was like I was seeing a lot of poets, especially in London, who were expressing like the kind of fullness of their identity. And I was given a lot of courage from that kind of drew me to want to create these characters who all have very multifaceted ways of being and try to express that in the show.
As I said at the beginning, we are Lady Parts is launching in France on Bredex, and we are very happy and proud to that in September 15th. What do you hope the reaction will be from French audience?
I mean, I think what's been so cool about the US and the UK reaction is just, you know, everybody's, all different types of people have loved the show. You know, different cultures, different ethnicities, different age groups, different class of people. So that's just so amazing and so special to have been part of something that has touched so many different people. So I hope it's the same in France, really, because it's just joyful and funny. So I think everybody can recognize themselves in it. The themes are universal.
When I was writing it, I put in a lot of sort of personal stuff, but, you know, I wrote it with such joy and love, and, you know, and we created it when we came together, the cast and the crew, in the same sort of putting a lot of that kind of energy and love and joy into it. So you kind of hope that sort of translates. And I hope that the French audiences also enjoy it and find it funny, and yeah, and maybe see, you know, women that they don't usually see in this new way with all the kind of complexity of who they are.
It's refreshing to see characters on screen that we don't often get to see. Why do you think there is still such a lack of representation of Muslim women in particular within the industry?
I mean, I think it's, you know, I've worked in the TV industry for a long time now, and I feel like it's new to even have the female voice represented on screen, never mind the, you know, women of color or, you know, different backgrounds. I think, you know, I've worked with very, very few female showrunners in my 20-year career, and Nida is the first person who's the same color as me that I've made a show with in my whole 20-year career. I mean, it's extraordinary. But I think it's all these things are new. It's a very male-dominated industry. And that's only just starting to change. And then for people of color, that's, you know, it's an extra hurdle, isn't it? We all know this. So we just have to make sure that it's the first of many.
Yeah. And it feels like an exciting time to be creating art, because I'm always inspired by sort of various artists around the world. And you see more, as you're saying, people of color making their shows, but getting to express their identity in its truthfulness to them. It doesn't feel like they're sort of trying to pander to be something else. And that's what's been really inspiring to get to create art now.
There's nothing more important in the world right now to bring, you know, people, to make people feel connected, and that remind people that we've got more in common than we have differences.
What do you think our French audience will be most surprised or find unique about the series, without a spoiler, please?
What do you guys think?
Maybe by some of the covers, actually. So we've got a lot of as the series goes on, we cover some songs that are very cool and that both really enjoy to do, like we all really enjoy to do. So hopefully they'll be surprised by which songs that we ended up covering as the series goes on.
There's like a bit tonal shifts, you know, it's a comedy, it's a sitcom, but then it sort of unpacks and becomes something a bit different. It sort of evolves a little bit. And I think that might be something that, you know, I'm curious to see how the French audience responds. I have no idea, you know, I don't know how audiences are ever going to respond to things, but fine.
That's quite a big question, but do you think We Are Lady Parts and shows like it will help burst open doors for other creators and shows to showcase more diverse stories?
You know, I hope so. That's one of the things that excites me most, is that, you know, my show represents a very sort of specific way of being, and that there's so many other voices and points of view. And you kind of hope that with a show like ours having success, it just encourages, you know, producers and different platforms to kind of take a chance on other voices that may have been considered sort of outsider or fringe or sort of marginal. So it's exciting.
How did you create the songs? Did you create it all together, or just Sarah, just Nida, just Juliet? I don't know.
I wrote the songs with my siblings, so my brother, my sister, and my brother-in-law. So we kind of came together and wrote all the original music.
If I can just interject to say that these siblings are like, it was blowing our minds. Like, we go into rehearsals and Nida's brother Shez, he taught us all of the instruments, but this guy is like a musical genius. Like, he'll be like, yeah, okay, so I'm just going to teach you the drums. And you're like, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. You leave the room. When you come back, he's in there playing like crazy jazz, Miles Davis drums. He's like, and you're just like, what is happening?
I don't know if it's a strange song, a funny song, a genius song. I don't know. It's about Voldemort.
Oh.
A little bit about this one, which was amazing.
Yeah, Voldemort under my headscarf. You know, that one again I wrote with my sister and my brothers, and that was something that, you know, for me, I wanted to shine a light on how sometimes, you know, Muslim people in general or Muslim women can be treated as like this sort of thing to be feared, something scary. And in a way, you know, the song kind of pokes fun at this sort of strange behavior, how like this whole people are sort of treated with kind of fear and suspicion. So, you know, it was a sort of satirical comedy song that allowed us to look at that. And I remember when the actors started playing it and performing in the way like Sarah and Faith were singing, he's alive, it was so funny and brilliant. And yeah, you know, it was one of my favorite songs to watch the actors perform.
For me, I think definitely what Nida said, but also that I think it really encourages you to kind of be able to stand in your power. And like for women, especially women like Muslim women who might be able to relate to some of the lyrics, it's like I just felt like it was such an empowering song, and it was really like so cool to be able to be a part of that. My personal favorite song is Fish and Chips. That was just so fun to play, to learn. It had like a particularly fiddly drum part, so it was really fun to try and get into that and like figure out when I was doing everything.
We always said, didn't we, like Fish and Chips, if the album was coming out, Fish and Chips would be the single.
Oh really? I didn't know that's what you guys all felt.
Yeah, and we were obsessed. But then when the show came out, Voldemort was so popular, like it really resonated with so many people, and they just loved it. They just loved it.
Yeah, it's so cheeky and just mischievous. And
looking ahead, if you're okay, will we be getting We Are Lady Parts season 2?
Will we?
We don't know yet. We're waiting for the gods of TV.
The gods of TV.
To tell us, but no, we really hope so. I mean, I think it's been such a success, and the reviews have just been, I mean, it's just been more than we could have dreamt of, to be honest. So we're pretty confident.
If you could give our French audiences on Bretix one reason, only one or two if you want, no problem, to watch the series, what would it be?
It's like nothing you've ever seen before.
When I was writing it and conceiving it, one of the things that was really important to me was that, you know, they're these friends and they're different and they have different ways of being, but they have so much love and respect for each other. And, you know, that's what I think was most exciting about the band, to have this real sense of sisterhood at the heart of it.
On social media, you can read the viewers, and we saw it in France talking about the series, saying, "Oh my God, this show is about me." What is your reaction when you discover, when you see that, and you see that the audience is like that?
It's really weird not weird bad, but like weird amazing to see that kind of thing, because it's like when we were making it, like I remember saying between us girls, especially Sarah, we'd be like, God, if like one person sees this and like really relates to it, that's what we're trying to do.
And the connection, like this is why we do what we do, like representation, connection, and just to have those moments of communication to say, we're here, we're in the right place at the right time, we see you, you can now see us. And just to feel, I know that when I was younger, if I'd seen something like this, I really think it would have changed my life.
There's an attachment so quickly with the characters in six episodes only, and 25 minutes by episode. Mm-hmm. How do you do that, this attachment, we want to stay with the characters?
You know, the chemistry between them, because as soon as you see that chemistry, you want to hang out with them. And I certainly felt that when I was, you know, we were shooting, I'm like, I want to be part of this band. So like, I think so much just comes from their sort of the performances. And, you know, when we were casting, it was sort of, there was just such clarity with that this cast were the right people to play these roles, because they sort of brought you in their performance.
Okay, thank you very, very much to take this time. That was very, very cool. Personally, I hope that there will be a season 2, but I can do nothing for that.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
Bye.